Hi, this is Rich Jordan. I wanted to personally introduce these tutorials for the Apple iOS devices. As I mentioned earlier, the iOS devices include the iPad, the iPhone, and the iPod, but I'm primarily going to refer to the Apple iPad during these tutorials. And we're going to start out with the Apple iTunes application. You will use Apple iTunes to install apps on your device. Our SmartPass single user customers can move your files from the desktop over to your iPad very easily, work in the field, and then move the files back to your desktop. As you'll see here in a few moments, it's very easy to do. One of the things I recommend that you do when you first get your iPad is you come here to apple.com/iPad and you watch the iPad videos. There's great guided tours and it'll save you a lot of time. So before you really get into transferring your files, I really recommend that you become familiar with your iPad and you'll have a much better experience. So let's get started. You may be familiar with iTunes. It's a free download at apple.com, and most people are familiar with iTunes from their music collections. But iTunes is also used to load applications. So if I click on my device over here, you'll see it comes up and shows my iPad. And you have a list of apps that you can select, so I can view the apps on my iPad. And you see this window and you have a list of all the applications that are present here. And then down below, if you scroll down on your screen, you'll see apps that can transfer documents between the iPad and your computer. The first document you see here is called FileMaker Go. FileMaker Go is an application that allows you to move FileMaker applications over to the iPad. SmartPest is created in FileMaker, so it allows us to very easily move these back and forth. So you can go to the App Store right from your iPad and download it here, and you see it's $39.99. Once it's installed on your iPad, you can see it'll appear here in this list. I'll select it here. And you see I already have a couple of our other products on here. So now what we want to do is select the Add button, and you'll navigate to the SmartPest folder. Here I happen to be on a Mac, but on a PC, you'll find it under the C drive. Open the folder. If you're on Windows, you'll see a number of other files, but basically these are the files that we want, just as you see here. So I'm going to select all of these, then click the Choose button. On Windows, it'll say OK or Open. And you'll see just that quickly the files are transferred, just taking a few seconds. And that's all there is to it. Now the files that you had on your desktop are now on your iPad. I recommend before you do this that you do your setup on your desktop, get all of your files in, put your signatures in, your logos, enter all your services. In other words, do the things that are in the previous tutorials. And then once you bring them over here, everything will be exactly as it is on your desktop. So now you can go out to the field and do your work. Once you're ready to come back to the office, all you do is reverse this process. You'll select the SmartPest files and you'll say Save To. Go back to your SmartPest folder and just say Choose. And it's going to say an item already exists. Well, yes. You're going to say Replace. And it's just going to go through all of those. You can actually check the Apply to All box, replace it. All the work that you've done during the day will now be present at your desktop. So that's pretty much it, and you're now ready to open SmartPest on your iPad.